What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Was It Good Though podcast where we review movies and TV shows. I am one of your hosts. I am Jazz.
And I am Jason.
And we are back with our interview with the Vampire Lestat, episode 4, The Devil's Road. Before we get into this episode, just want to let you guys know we definitely did the first 3 episodes of this season. So y'all please be sure to check those out. They are available on streams and our YouTube. All right, let's get into it, Jason, because we have a lot to discuss in this episode. Oh my goodness, a lot of emotions, reactions, and things to discuss. Where would you like to get started? But actually, before we get to it, I did want to ask you, watching this episode, were you, and of course, they do their intro song after some of the episode has already played. Did you catch at the end of the intro song where Lestat says, "Did you hear that, Armand?"
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did.
I heard it on my rewatch, and I was just like, "Oh, you slid that in there very smooth." Lestat.
Yeah,
Okay.
I caught that. I ain't know. So it's not always there.
So I've never noticed it until this episode.
This time, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it this time, and I was like, "Shit!" I need to go back and see if it's always right there. But I mean, it made sense, considered this was an Armand focused episode to an extent. So
I lashed out on him a lot last week, and I see that everybody decided to join in on that this week. I felt kind of bad for him, but
yeah, no, I ain't feel bad, but it'll be interesting, and it's like one of them situations where right message is wrong messenger. I feel like this is what this is going to possibly turn into, but we're getting into it.
yeah. So we on the road. Did you want to start with, I guess, the band and their interactions with the police pulling them over, and everybody pretty much happy that they have a vampire in their back pocket because you see the benefits.
Yeah. So what is this like? What is he like? I'm gonna say compel him, but he like took over, influence his mind. Like what is it, like mind control? Is that what they can do?
I think so. Yeah, I feel like we've seen multiple times where that's happened in the past to where it's just like, because they're able to, of course, what we saw with Armand last season, where he was able to like to stop everybody from moving when Louie and I can't remember the other vampire was having a back and forth. They just stopped everybody in a restaurant. And I feel like there's been other times where Lestat has shown that power as well. So I was like, okay. I didn't know he could do it on the dog.
But I guess for me, it's a little different when like they're freezing time to have a conversation as opposed to telling a person to do something, like having a person go and do something. That's why I was like still on a bit of the not a bit on the edge, but like on the edge of did someone have Louis' brother killed? Now I think they already said that that was just something that he succumbed, his own condition is what he came to. But I always say like I feel as if someone made him do that because it was just out the blue, random as hell. But you never know what I guess is on the person's mind, or
Yeah.
like I said, that'll be something that'll be crazy to come back in this season. But
Yeah, I'm hoping Lestat didn't have anything to do with that. I'm hoping, but if it does come out that he did, oof, then I'm at the hey, so I have to drop to the bottom for me. He's at the top. That's a favorite of mine right now.
hey man, but is that what you say that there's good people on both sides? There's bad people on
Nah,
both sides? No,
have doing Louis brother like that because then it also shows the intent and that you was like manipulated him the entire time. You
I
know,
mean, you
I don't
don't
think I don't think
yeah,
he had anything to do with killing Louis's brother because Louis's brother and then how just I feel like that is where the domino fell for Louis.
no
You
that
know,
that's why I always put Lestat as the person because it was like that's what it was like the straw that broke the camel's back in that moment because that was like the last thing that was actually kind of keeping him grounded or keeping him away from going to that side. But that we see what happened with that situation as it began to like spiral Louis at that point. Although he's spiraling again, um, as we see in this episode.
Yeah, yeah, we gonna get the daddy Lou or brother Lou,
It was
Louie.
Daddy Lou. But yeah, a lot of I guess, but I think all these episodes are pretty much revelations as we watch them, because I know we see the dynamic between Gabriella and Lestat a lot more in this episode. You're not feeling that?
She's a villain, man. Oh God, every episode is just giving me more of a reason why I do not like her. But that's good writing because it's just like I don't think that's a vampire you're actually supposed to like. And with her popping in, popping out, and I honestly feel like she be having Lestat folding, but then Lestat be having other people folding. So they're just a vampire circle where somebody's making somebody else fold, and it's just okay. Everybody's folding like they need to fold, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, but
That was his first. But that was his first love before he was even a vampire, though. So it's a little bit that I know that has to be a different situation altogether. Like again, somebody that knew you before you being a vampire, somebody you turned a vampire, um, and now y'all can just kind of live eternally, however y'all are living in the world.
but then you
That's it.
also see how she's kind of how she manipulates him. Like
Of course.
you know how Lestat is. We all know how Lestat is, but she definitely know. She's been dealing with it for a long time. And
Mm-hmm.
when she was, having sex with the doppelganger last week, and we see that ain't the first time she done that. And his reaction is also not the first time he's done that. So it's just like, girl, you know what you're doing. But it's just like, I'm gonna still do it. I don't care. I don't care if you get upset. I don't care if you get mad. I'm gonna do it as loud as I can just to trigger you.
I also think that's like because of the time that they were in, she really didn't have any agency over herself. And now you kind of see her being able to take reins the way she wants to, or live the way that she wants to, and nobody can really stop her at this point. She was in the house with the brothers and the husband, like she was only could be do so much being a woman. Now she's free to live the way she wants to, and she got the power to be able to take a life if she needs to, or stop you in your tracks if she need to.
I get that. But I guess with that agency, if it also causes harm to somebody that you say that you love for real and not considering their feelings, empathy. But I guess that's one thing vampires don't really have too much. So I mean, there's that. Because when he was just like, where you been at? And like Lestat was on such a any like his crash out this episode was all surrounded by Sophia. And so it was just her being gone, texting him, calling her, leaving voicemails, and then she show up on the bus and she just like just grow up, and it's just like I guess imagine expressing yourself to somebody that you love and care about, and they just like I ain't even trying to hear all that, just grow up, like suck it up, you know what I'm saying, to where it's just like damn.
In both instances, you're correct because I understood her side of it as well. Like Nick, you 256 years old. Grow up. Like you know what this life is. You've lived life beyond me. And pretty much, when they even not separated, but when she decided to go a different
Abandon him.
route, yeah. she she pretty much laid it like that. It was kind of weird that she made that promise and then did it. But I guess it was just like shit, we could always like shit, we made this promise and we gonna do it, just not together. Cause her story, cause listen, I mean, listening to what she's saying, she pretty much saying like, okay, cool, that's cool for today, but in 50 years, shit, well then what? On 100, like I don't want to be tied to you. I want to be out there living, like living my best life. So yeah,
I guess she couldn't communicate that with him. Look,
shit.
I'm not on Gabriella's side. I'm like, put a stake through the heart.
I thought she had At first I was like, did she burn up or did she just cut her hair when she was down there? Like, what
I'm
was
like, you
like
left
she
your
like
wig down
you left
there.
your tracks? Like you took the track out and just left it there? Like, what did you do?
I'm a new
The,
woman, leaving all of this behind.
I was like, but it would have been clothes and everything. It was just hair and a necklace.
I was curious, did the necklace symbolize anything? Because I don't remember it being referenced. And I mean, how this show is, they always leave breadcrumbs that they will reference later on. But
Hmm.
I was curious if it was something that I missed of like, was this mentioned before?
I
But
don't recall seeing that necklace like unless
yeah.
it's important to another situation or significant to something. Unless it was just something that she always wore. I got to go back to the episode too just to see if there's something that she was always like wearing often or something. But yeah, I didn't see the significance of that.
Mm. But we see like the effects of the concert from last episode of him levitating at the concert. And so the band is like, they getting that success or due to the bots.
Mm.
And, they're having a good time on the bus, drugs, coke everywhere. And I thought it was
Hmm.
funny in this scene to where it's just like you got people flushing and they had a lot of coke on that bus.
A lot that was eating it, trying to swallow it, trying to snort it. They were just trying to get this shit out of there.
I know if Ruth saw this episode, RIP, she'd be like, damn, I wish I was on that bus. But and we see later in this episode, is Mike or is it Alex? Comes back.
Alex.
Alex. He comes back
Hmm.
after his AA meeting, or
Whatever kind of whatever meeting he having that Armand would be at.
he's back in the band. And at first I wasn't sure how Lestat would react to that. He was just like, you've been missed. That was Lestat's one of Lestat's favorites. But he was telling his brother how he met somebody, doesn't really consider him a sponsor. He didn't give the name, but of course we already know it's Armand. And then with Armand showing up, of course, talking to Daniel and then talking to Lestat, do you think Armand has any type of ulterior motives at this moment right now? Or
Yeah,
do you think it's like
it
genuine?
it's genuine. Not the apology is, is it is what it is when it comes to that. Like Armand has lived, he's the oldest vampire that we have seen so far. He It has been manipulative in every moment, every situation, abusive in how he does things. He takes advantage of everybody. He's wiping minds. He all these different things. Killed Claudia. Everything he's done. Um, the only real thing that I do believe is that he wants him to stop singing the music because of pretty much the Great Conversion, which in the previous episode, Lestat said it was bullshit. But with these songs is rallying the troops to want to live their life and them just saying they can do whatever it is they want to do. But there has to it kind of goes back to those those five principles that Armand said. Like there has to be rules, otherwise people won't exist. Because if it's just vampires, they can't exist just with vampires. Because what are you going to drink at that point? Um, so yeah, it's an interesting. I feel like it's a twofold situation or a double-edged sword. Like that's why I was going right message, wrong person. Because if it was maybe if Louie presented it to Lestat, he may be more receptive. But it coming from Armand telling me what to do and shouldn't do, it's not gonna work.
And then Sophia is telling him the opposite. She's like, "Oh, I was gone for 9 days, but I was listening to the voices." To where
Hmm.
Lestat was, after his attempted, homeboy knew he wasn't going to kill Lestat. I think he just did that just for others to actually see that this is actually a vampire. And so
Oh
she's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure, for sure.
she was just like, the voices, they're listening to you. And which is like Dante's hell. That's what she mentioned in a flashback to him.
Hmm.
And so Armand is on one side of it, and then Sophia is on the other. And in that moment, it's just like he was about to give up the music. He's about to go start coding. He was just going to try to find something else to do. But of course, Sophia was just like, no, 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 you can't do that. You got to get back in the studio. Come on,
Yeah,
come on. Get back in the
yeah,
studio. Your fans. And so, of course, he's going to listen to Sophia, Mama's boy. Shout out to Nikki. We saw him in this episode. And so it's just like, okay. And it's funny because at the concert, you had people, even when Lestat called out Armand, it was people in the crowd was just like, Armand is right. They was just
Hmm.
like, he was telling the truth. And I was just like,
What's the
all
truth
right,
that what's the truth that they feel like Armand is telling?
the rules, like the 5 rules, the five
Mm,
vampire rules.
gotcha,
Because
gotcha.
Lestat ain't trying to go by nobody's rules but his own. And so he's like, chaos. It is what it is. And Armand is, of course, more reserved. Like, nah, you can't have all that because you have to think down the line of what it could cause. But
Hmm.
Sophia's like, kill everybody, bring hell on earth. And so I'm very curious to see when their paths cross because they
Who
have
is
not,
that?
Sophia and Armand, because their paths have not
Mm.
crossed yet.
Since back in the day.
Oh, well, yeah, but I'm talking about right now because
Mm.
Daniel
He
is
probably don't
asking.
he probably doesn't owe her anything, so I don't know why they would cross paths unless he intentionally trying to see her.
I don't
Or
think
they
it's
trying to
more so her owing him anything. I think Armand definitely knows a bit more of like maybe her ulterior motives than what is being led on. And I honestly
mm,
think Armand is going to be the one to tell Daniel, yeah, Sophia, that's Lestat's mother. Because as of right now, that's the
mm,
only other person who knows. Like
mm.
Daniel could probably have his assumptions, but he keeps seeing people, then they gone, but he can still hear them. So he's dealing with his own type of demons right now. And then
More so
his
because of
vampire daddy
Armand.
issues.
I
I
mean,
don't.
that's a part of it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the people disappearing but still being able to hear him, that they're all experiencing that, except for Lestat. I don't think Lestat is experiencing that, but Armand said he's experiencing it, and Daniel said he's continuing to experience it as well. But it's like
But
vampire connection.
that's what I was gonna say. But it's because of Armand and his fledglings, basically, like the people that's attached or that Armand turn. It's them that feel what he feel. So that's the little thing. Like you get tied to him when he kept on saying when he was saying like every now and again I can feel him and
Right.
like but that's what that is with him. So that's why when he asked Louie, does he feel Lestat? It's just a different. They got these different connections, but that I feel like that always coming from Armand. That's why he stuff goes away. But that's also happens to him. That's why he was like, It's like it's happening right now. He said, "No, it's not." He was like, "Yes, it is." And then he almost got hit by the person on that bike or whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was okay. I thought it was more of a broader like vampire connection, not just like
Uh,
Armand and his folks.
It's the Armand fledglings and Armand who feeling it. So whatever Armand is, that's why Armand. I don't know what the fuck this is. Like imagine being a vampire then. Like, what shit after you get so old? I mean, I would assume. I mean, they said they live eternally, but I would assume there would be some kind of something that's wrong with him. But he said he had weak blood too, so it could have been whoever originally bit him. Like he got diabetes, vampire. I know telling he needs some insulin in his blood.
I thought he was just saying that because he was reading the hell out of him. I
Nah,
just thought,
not at that point. Nah, not at that point. Now, well, to an extent, yes. 'Cause I think that did come in the read, but it was also truth to what he was saying too.
mm, because he was just like, you got some weak ass powers. Or wait,
He said, "Nah." He said, "I get out of weak shit." But I've heard people say that from their family too. They were like, "Bruh, all these good genes, and I ain't get shit but the bad stuff." Like, oh. Pass down the sickness, but not the good, not the athletic genes and stuff. Yeah, kind of wild.
that's gotta suck. That's gotta suck. Damn.
Yeah, yeah. It's
But
like having two fine parents and you not being a yeah. That's not what I was talking about at first though. But
ooh,
it did come out.
but to the son and the father, Daniel and Armand, when they was actually able to connect. This read, so
At the bowling alley.
the writing, yes. The writing, y'all, y'all, is your pen still on fire? Is the paper still lit up? Because I'm just like, oh my goodness, between what Daniel said to Armand and then what Lestat said to Armand. And I was trying to get a few of the quotes, but he was like, you're not going, no, You're not gonna get any cool camp skills because my blood sucks. He was like, because this is basically what Daniel is saying Armand should be telling him. I'm a friendless
Hmm.
bottom twit sociopath. I'm just a 500-year-old pleasure palace because I don't say the P word. And Armand is just sitting there taking it. I know it. I said it probably too sexy because it's just like pleasure palace. That sounds better than the P word, but yeah, whatever. Y'all know the P word. So, and Armand is just sitting there taking it. I mean, I appreciate him taking the accountability and all of that, getting the frustrations and all of that out from especially Daniel. And because Daniel and Armand have a very complicated history. But I guess if you were Daniel in this moment, would you have reacted the same way? Or would you have
Yeah.
tried to find the closest stake and stab him in the chest?
Oh, I mean, I probably would feel the same way. Like as far as with killing them, I don't. I mean, I guess technically he could, but I don't think he can, right? Like they can't kill their maker, or is it like it's something about why they can't kill him? Uh, like there's something with it. I don't know if it's they're not as strong, they're not as powerful, or what it is. But I feel like that's what they were saying was that's why Louie couldn't take out Lestat in season one. There's something with it. Even though they tried it, they slit the throat, put him in the sun, everything. He still just bounced back.
It's like that aggravating ass piece in your life. It's like, could you please just leave me alone?
But yeah,
Nah.
nah, I felt him though.
Mm. Yeah, I said, goodness gracious. He was just like basically him being gone for 2 years. And I mean, I don't know. I don't trust Armand. Like being in those positions, it does seem sincere, but I just feel like he has an ulterior motive. If it
Like,
comes to like episode 8 and it's just like, oh, okay, he never did. All right, cool, got you. I just don't trust him.
I mean, what do you think the ulterior motive would be?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of the theories that I have.
Because all he told him to do was stop singing the songs. Like,
But
you
see,
know,
or Armand knows not to try to confront Lestat on trying to tell him what he should or should not do. He's learned his lesson on that. That Lestat is not going to follow any kind of instructions or demands you try to give him.
hmm.
But I just it's something there. And I could be completely wrong. And if I am, I'm that's totally fine with that. But I just don't trust that motherfucker. I don't. And it might be the eyes. And last
Yeah,
season.
he do be looking. He do be looking like he told him he the French Bengali, and they put the camera on him in the concert, and he just looked. I said, "Oh hell no!" I would have
if
shot. I probably would have beat up Lestat
if
right
he didn't
then.
have ulterior motive prior to that diss track being performed in front of him, he definitely has one now because oh my God. Like that
So
was
what?
crazy.
But if we feel, or if you feel as if he's really being accountable, then there can't be an ulterior motive.
No, 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 no. I think he was accountable in the moments with his little 5 steps of him talking to himself, and he had to go through the depths of his chest to bring out all of what he needed to say in his letters. But outside of that, I just it's something. It's like okay, he threw the ace down in the king. That motherfucker still got the queen, but he's holding it to the end of the game, and he gonna try to get a book
Mm.
off of it
Who
because he
cares?
don't
But
want
somebody
nobody to
then
know.
that means somebody carrying the jokers then.
This is true. But I'm gonna say Lestat is definitely carrying the jokers. Louie ain't carrying nothing except all that money for Regina/Claudia. But I don't know. We gonna see. We gonna see. I just him turning over a new leaf of being okay, an ally, good guy, vampire. No, I don't see
I
that
don't
with Armand.
I don't see that, because I feel as if he did the same setup again with Alex. Because even when Alex seen him he was like, what the fuck? Like seeing him at the concert, he was like, wait, nigga, you just doing this to everybody, huh?
So Alex didn't look shocked when Lestat said Armand was a vampire. He didn't look shocked. It seemed like that was information he already knew. He
He said
actually looked like he was
he's
attracted to Armand at moments. Like, oh, my baby in the crowd. Okay.
I didn't get that
I
vibe,
he
but
he gave me the eye.
he definitely had because he was like he's like a god, so he knows there's something with him. I think he knows that now what it is because he erased his mind. He erased all the trauma of his mind, so he cleared all of it. So he know there's something with him, but then when he seen him, I don't feel like he knew because everything that he was experiencing, shit, that's what everybody else that went through with Armand. So it's like, oh look, this nigga, like it was like he was looking like he was. I don't think he was shocked about him being a vampire. I think he was shocked that he was there and that he knew Lestat. I feel like that'll come back, like him, Alex, and Lestat gonna talk about who Armand was in his life at some point.
And that's another piece. I'm just like, you showed up at Alex's AA meeting, and now you showing up on the bus. Like
That,
this
that,
ain't no coincidence.
that
Armand got
yeah.
something in play. That's why I don't trust him.
Are they trying to kill? I mean, they try to kill. At least he's gonna try to kill Gabriella. Um, I can see that play. I can see that move happening.
I won't be upset about that. Actually, that might put him back in my good graces. But I don't see Armand being the one to take out Gabriella. And also, since in the first episode when we first saw Armand at the auction house, he loses an eye. So
Yes,
it's gonna be a battle somewhere, and somebody
I
gonna be
feel
like, "I'm sick of them eyes," and they're gonna take out one of them.
so. I feel like that's one him taking her out, but then at the same time, it's the damn. I just had it in my head and I just lost it. Mm, I'm gonna come back to it. I had thought
Okay.
because I forgot what it was, but I'm gonna come back to it.
Okay. But when Lestat and Daniel were on the bus, and Daniel went back to asking him about Gabriella, Lestat still keeping his lies of
Hmm.
like, his mother, the the disease got him like Nikki, and he had to carry her to coffin, all this other stuff. But then as he was saying that, we see the flashback of him actually teaching her, because that is his fledgling, and just teaching her the ways of being a vampire and all of that. So Daniel is definitely gonna spaz out on Lestat with all of these lies, and I can't wait for that to happen. And Nikki is sitting beside Lestat like, always a mama's boy. It's just like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And Gabrielle over here scaring people, like first talking to a man at the bar, but then getting in his head. And he said, let me go back to my seat because, bitch, I did
yeah.
not say that out loud. And you in my head.
Man, I probably would have ignored this shit. Like, yeah, no, I ain't hear that, and
If
I
you
would have
was
been like,
him,
yeah, I'm gonna play crazy. I'm gonna play crazy.
what?
I'm gonna play
Man.
crazy. Man, my phone. I don't know what. I'd have been sitting. We would have been standing there looking at each other like.
Man, I would have did exactly what he did. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. And then like Lestat was just looking at her with shock of like, oh, you catching on very quickly. Cause he just
Hmm.
like, I ain't teach you how to do that. But then also he probably could not hear her speaking to him.
Mm-mm.
So Lestat just in here like, what is he answering to? She didn't ask him nothing. And then he was just like, no, this bitch in his head.
Yeah, he knew once he started talking, it was like, oh, this motherfucker, man, we gotta, you know.
She gonna be a problem. Yes, Lestat. Yes, but that's your mama. So
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, I guess it's all right. No,
But it's happened like he was trying to heighten her skills too, though. Cause they sitting there and he like, how many hearts do you feel? He was like, I count 27 people, but I hear 32. And then she listening, she only can hear 30. So he like trying to like help her sharpen her skills at the same exact time. So, mm.
that is such a cheat code. Imagine trying to hide from a vampire and they can hear your heart, and you hiding under the bed and shit. Just like, all right, go ahead and take me
Mm.
for real. I can't
Mm.
outrun you.
I was what man, I started watching that show Helene was telling us about the Vox McKenna,
Mm-hmm.
Vox McKenna, and it's um like the first episode. It's funny. Everything that we watching is pretty much kind of like in partnership. It's a little bit, but the first two episodes they're trying to kill a dragon. In the first few episodes, and the dragon just goes wiping everything out. But then after that, like at the end of that episode two, this vampire pulls up in there, and like um you got somebody that the vampire slayed their entire family, but not them. And like they just want this revenge to kill this vampire. And I was like, dog.
House of the Dragon, Supergirl, Interview with a Vampire. They say it's original content. Well, actually, we can connect the dots on all of these things.
Man, Audi just different. They just it's fun just seeing it, and it's just different mediums of content, but of art, but then also just showing them different ways. There's more than one way to skin a cat. So just seeing all these different things is just like I'm like, man, this is such an interesting concept. Just seeing this. But of course, within this episode, we get more Regina uh in this episode, and I was like, this reminds me of another movie I watched last night. Sorry. New movie. It's on Netflix. It's called The Voicemails for Isabel. Basically it's a rom-com about these sisters. One of them passes away from cancer, but the sister that survived always calls their phone and leaves a voicemail. And of course, the number end up going to somebody else, and he be keeping the voicemails. He falls in love. Whoop whoop. And this is what this kind of reminds me of. It's like this. I'm not gonna say it's healthy because I don't think it's necessarily a healthy way to cope with a situation, but it can definitely go dark very, very quick if we lost someone that we loved and then we seen somebody that was similar to him, and then us trying to have some kind of connection, some kind of relationship with them. Like that's something that needs to uh I guess be reckoned with. And we knew that after he killed Bruce, I felt as if this was going to come back because he had already mentioned that there was somebody that looked just like her, but she disappeared. Um, and I thought it was somebody playing with him, or really like something like a vampire doing like playing with his mind, playing with his, same like the Armand thing. I thought it was just his mind playing trick, but we see it's an actual person. And I'm assuming she's from UK, but she's in America.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah.
said she stay in Brooklyn. So what did you think of the because I one thing I do love about this too is they did an episode. It was one episode and they allowed it to graduate. Because typically something like this, most people would have this would be a 3-4 episodes where you just see the relationship change over time, but you see it in one episode. But that also lets you know how much he up in that motherfucker too.
Yeah, he's been like every day showing up. She said 3 times out of the past 5 days. Like, all right, Louie. But so the episode last week, I did see him a clip back in there where he showed up. So I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, okay, Louie, are you going to be coming to her job every night? Like, how are we gonna go with this? And something I was asking for our viewers and watchers, if you are a bookie, nobody has told me that is a slur or anything, so I'm going to continue to use it because nobody has corrected me. So for all my bookies out there, does Louie visit Regina in the books, or is this just a storyline for the series? That's my only question. I just want to know because I'm curious to see if this is coming from the books. But it's funny because somebody commented on our YouTube video of our episode last week. They was just like, and I'm gonna give them a shout out. Queerly Beloved said he is giving Joe Goldberg vibes from you. And I was just like, you know what? You are spot on because that is exactly what Louie is doing. You know, you're in her section like multiple nights and you're watching her. She said, you watching me like Netflix. Like, what's going on for real? You know, you're not really eating anything. And even though you can work remotely, you leave your sexy chocolate man telling him, I don't know what you're telling him. But I just, I don't want to say that it's not healthy, but it kind of puts a pause on,
You
or
know that
I,
shit ain't healthy, Jazz.
it, it's not okay.
What's
Okay.
that? What is that? Is that was it a oh shit. Another movie I seen. It was this it's this with Elizabeth Olsen. Um it's Eternity. There's a movie called Eternity. Just to give
It
y'all
came out last year.
yeah. You said you see
Okay.
that?
I never saw it, but I know what you're
Okay,
talking
gotcha.
about.
Okay, so there's a movie called Eternity, another rom-com, a couple, they pass away. You go to a place called eternity. It's a place in between heaven and hell. So you once you get to eternity, well, I'm gonna say heaven because I don't think they ever mentioned hell. But you go to eternity and you get to determine where you want to go for the rest of your life. Now you can do it by yourself or you can go with somebody. Now, husband dies first, so he waits in eternity for his wife to pass away. He didn't want to choose without his wife. Like that's all he knew. She dies, she comes, and then you turn into your best version of yourself. Whatever the best version of yourself to yourself was, you turn into that. So he sees himself at like 33, she sees herself at like 24. When she gets there, there's a man in a bar that died when they were kids. Not kid when they were like in the 50s or something. He died in a war. He died in a plane crash, whatnot. He's also been waiting in eternity for her to return. It's been like 60 or 70 years. So now she has to determine who she wants to be with in this story. So I'm gonna leave it at that just in case you want to see it. Definitely one of the better
I'm
rom-coms.
intrigued.
A, di- a
I'm so
different
intrigued.
you get to see who she gets to choose in this. But what I was trying to get to was there was a what's the other show we watched at? Black Mirror mode in the
Yes.
show where you can visit your memories. And it's okay to reminisce, but when you start to live in your memories is when an issue can arise. And this is what my problem is with Louie. Because yes, you get to see this person. I would have done like a one-time help her. Like because he had already looked, man, come on, they vampires. They know everything about you.
He
All
was
from the rooter to the tutor.
he
He
was
he
looking
already
her up while he was sitting in her section at the diner. He did it that night. He didn't go home and do it. He Googled you right there when you gave him his sandwich that he wasn't going to eat.
so that was like just seeing him do that, and then him the way he kind of I felt as if when she threw him out, do you think he had already offered her that situation?
So, not in that moment, but he did the
Got
night
you.
before give her a $500 tip. And then when he gave her all that money in her hand, and then that's when she was like, outside, outside. Especially with her telling him all of her complications with her flat. You know, she was like, rats or mice falling through. He was like, well, it's
Mm-hmm.
better than rats, which is what they used to eat in season
Mm-hmm.
2. And so I guess I would say as a regular human, it might not be healthy, but as a vampire, would that adjust the levels of it possibly being healthy? Because you're here forever for real. So
But
it's
when it come,
just
but when it comes, you got to remember when you a vampire, everything is way like 10 times more intensified. So like the loves that they have, the cares that they have, the anger that they have, the passion that they have. Just imagine being on the opposite side of it regardless of what that feeling is. Like, if you want a nigga to be obsessed over you, maybe that may be sexy. But imagine if Nikki is obsessed over you. Like how, you know what I'm saying? Another movie that y'all should go see if you haven't. And we have an episode. Check that out.
so. I mean, I don't think so. I think it benefits him a lot. I do not think it will benefit her a lot. I honestly think this her having a connection with him, the more we get through this season, is going to be dangerous for her. Because
Mm,
as we think about it, Lestat is still telling this story. So Lestat knows that Louis killed Bruce, and Lestat knows that he's seeing Claudia, well, Regina at this diner every night.
mm-hmm.
Lestat is gonna eventually know all of this to where he's gonna find out about Regina. And so he's gonna like Louis indirectly is going to bring Regina into the umbrella of vampires.
They
Uh,
can't kill her. If they kill her, I'd be mad. If
yeah.
they kill her again, I'd be mad. They can't.
I don't
Don't
think
don't
they'll
do
kill her,
that.
but I think they'll probably turn her, which is gonna if that's I know, which is
That'll be
kind of
fine. That'll
fucked
be
up.
that might be fine now though.
But I
So
mean,
my
because
question,
she's older.
yes, but
That's why
also
I'm curious
first
if
off,
this entire thing is in the books. But I don't want to know what happens if she does get turned or not, or if she gets killed. I just want to know if this is in the books.
so I guess the other thing that I want to bring up, I did see a theory out there where people felt as Louis was in love with Claudia.
I
Do you
seen
think
that.
that?
I can see how that theory could come about. Yes. And now you have a more mature Claudia, which could look real nasty, especially being that you saw somebody that looked like her and considered her your daughter slash sister. And now you see like a, I guess, what, a resurrected form of her that could be as an adult, like to where she might be 23, 24, to where it's like, oh, well, I can, since she's legal, maybe she can be my lover. And so that's when it's just like, Louis, I'm hoping that isn't where you would go. But then also, like Louis said in this episode, he's gay. He said it times 3. So with us knowing that, do you think the love will be just more emotional, or could it go into physical? Because I don't think vampires really have that many rules when it comes to that. I mean, we already see Lestat out here smashing his mama. And I mean, they on that Targaryen kind of vibe. So
Man, that nigga, them waves crashing. I said, man, hold on, this can't be that type of sex scene. This is like the love of my life. Like, I would give this person my all type. The waves crashing, like I seen Boys to Men out there in on top of the rocks singing at this point.
Lestat had them on repeat, man. I get it, but like, but they singing to their girl, you singing to your mama.
To your
So it's just
mama.
like, nah, you got to get that
But I
Targaryen
will.
soundtrack.
The funny thing is, this is running in tandem with House of the Dragon, and considering we just seen Armand, Aemond kissing his mom.
Maybe they ain't seen that yet. You already spoiling.
Aemond just kissed his mom in the previous episode.
Sophia
So
could be a Targaryen. She got the hair.
yeah, got the hair. Shit, Louis do. I mean, shit, the stat do too. On the cool. So them
Nah.
kissing, so I'm just saying, like them kissing, like this, this was incestuous as fuck, but kind of hot a little bit. I'm not into it, but yeah, I take them up down. Take them up down. I take them.
Sophia?
Yeah, she think she ugly.
Her the screaming, but I mean, if that's what her screaming just sounds terrible to me. Like, bitch,
Like,
shut up.
I'm killing this.
Oh God, you got to get a gag for her. Like, you can't. You
Bitch,
doing too much.
cabbage.
Lestat
Oh,
is so sick of hearing her having sex with other men. But I will say, with like Claudia and Louie, and if we were to scale it back and look at it to where it's just like you have escorts that pretty much provide certain men or women that fantasy that they pay for. That is ideally what Regina is doing. She is giving Louis that fantasy that he wants. It's not a sexual fantasy, it's just a fantasy of being his daughter. And so I'm not gonna lie. If I'm struggling, if I ain't got no money, my OnlyFans ain't giving me what I need, and you get about to give me 500K, yes, Daddy Lou, Brother Lou, Uncle Lou, I got you. I need that money. I'm sick of this
Lulu
diner.
raising Canaan.
Lou,
Yes,
I'm just like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, no, especially if you're not doing anything sexual or it kind of like goes against your moral code. That's not what Louis is even offering. Now, I am assuming she knows that he is a vampire. Because she read the book and you see them eyes. And so I'm pretty sure she was smart to put those two things together because she also did her research on him. But I mean, outside of the possible dangers that could come from this, it seems the positives are kind of there. Like 500K, that's life changing for somebody who,
man, just with money, no money. Yes, sign me the fuck up. Who you need me to be?
I need the money. No, I'm not doing it for free.
No, I'm saying, like, if I was broke or if I had it already, I am doing this.
Oh, so if Louis wrote up to you, it's like, you remind me of my son that you.
Yes. What you want to throw a ball to me, daddy?
Yo, saying daddy when you was his brother in the book is crazy. Here go Jason, my bad, my bad. So we brothers. All right, come on, bro. I got you. Let's go to a game.
We're brothers. Yes,
We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me
like,
a
yeah.
high five. For anybody who's not sure where that song came from, please check out the Wayans. But no, yeah, her taking that offer, I'm not upset about it, but I am afraid for her future. But it brings her back into the storyline. And I'm going to give credits to Delaney, the actress, because within these 2 episodes, I feel like she has done such an amazing job to be able to separate the characters of Claudia and Regina, in my opinion. Because when I was looking at her as Regina, I did not think of Claudia. You look like Claudia, but your like behavior, your attitude and everything was nothing like Claudia. You were able to separate and make Regina her own character. And when she did that switch, when the camera zoomed in on her face and she dropped the accent, it felt like you just pushed a button. And I said, oh shit. And Louie probably tingled in his socks in that moment. But she did a great job. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So it'll be definitely fun to see where we go. Do you have any possible theories for these 2 moving forward throughout the season?
You said I have another theory.
Do you have any theories of
I think I mean I feel like with the Great Conversion, I feel like that's kind of brings up why I guess Asaka. What is it?
Akasha?
Akasha.
You said some sushi. You call her sushi. I want some Asaki.
Akasha.
Yeah.
I think at some point, I think a lot of this will lead to her coming back. And I don't because I'm not really familiar with her to even know what she does, what goes on or anything like that. So it'll be interesting seeing her. And is it going to be a present day? I'm assuming it would have to be a present day thing, or it would have to be something else. Because I'm assuming, is she the one that turned Magnus?
So
if the blood is flowing through him.
Akasha, and I only remember from Queen of the Damned. Akasha, I believe, was the first woman vampire, and her husband, her king, were pretty much locked away in like a tomb because Akasha didn't care if you were a vampire or a human. She got you the fuck up out of here. So a lot of covens did not want her walking around Earth because she's very dangerous. And so that's the only like introduction I had of Akasha. And so she was just so drawn to Lestat in the Queen of the Damned. And he was a rock star in there. And so yeah, they pretty much had to come together like, nah, we can't let her walk around. And so we're at episode 4 and we have 4 more episodes. I'm very curious when she's going to be introduced. I'm going to go ahead and make the assumption we'll probably get very close at the end of episode 5, and then she's definitely going to show up in episode 6. But that's just my assumption on that, because I'm excited to see her. I'm excited to see where it's about to go. So
I had looked it up too as we was talking just to check. It said she doesn't come back in the book series. Or there's no one that even resembles her in the book series. So now it's just Louie more so. Now her presence is still felt because people talk about it throughout the book, and of course Louie's guilt behind her and stuff like that. But now she never come back, or nobody looks like her comes back.
Oh, you talking about Claudia?
Claudia, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I was
Claudia,
like, I know you ain't talking about Akasha.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, like Claudia. Yeah, Claudia. Yeah, no, that's it.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that means if that's the case, they can get very creative with that storyline then.
Yeah.
Oh, that means the bookies won't have a step ahead of us. Y'all gonna be in the dark like us.
I know they hate that shit. They love the they love the I remember. No, motherfucker. You gotta watch this just like everybody else. Pull from another experience.
Be careful, boy. They a group out there, and that's a cult. The bookies is a cult, man. I don't want
I,
no
I've
beef
been
with the bookies, man.
I've been watching the Avatar fans. Have they been, trying to kill the series? I pack low up.
I was scrolling through the Discord half sleep. Voice notes? Oh hell no, I'm out of here. Mind your black business, Jazz. That ain't got nothing to do with you. I saw I got tagged. I'm like, I ain't got nothing to do with this shit.
Yeah, I just be talking. Everybody keep trying to get us to watch Succession.
I started it. I'm on episode 2. You gotta
You
start
started to
somewhere.
win this
Like
morning.
hell no, like 2 weeks ago. I tried. I'm attempting. I'm definitely gonna attempt it. So
One day.
I started episode 1, so I'm on episode 2. So I got to go back to episode 2. But then I got this other Netflix series I was told to watch, and I'm being harassed about. I can't remember the name, but it has a dude that was in Avatar, that's locked up because he's accused
Sam
of. Yes,
Sam Worthington. I will find you. Harlan Coben's I will
yes,
find you. Yeah,
yes.
I
So
watched it.
I was like, got a text like, "Oh, I'm gonna start it tomorrow, 5 o'clock the next day. Tomorrow's here." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa."
Netflix love a good murder mystery or a
I'm here
little
for it.
mystery. So yeah,
I'm here
they
for
put
it.
them out.
But can we talk about Lestat and Armand on the bus?
Yeah, that was a crazy. I'm like, man, I like when I see him on the bus, I was like, man, don't show him naked. That's all I kept saying in my head. Like, do not show him naked. I know Jazz like, yes, please, in blood, like in blood.
I'm gonna be honest, but whose ever idea this was, if it's not in the book, give them a raise, give them all the flowers. Look, Sam Reed, his execution was astonishing. It was amazing. It was perfect. Cause I'm just like, oh my God. Like now, I'm on my, my black brothers, That's where I'm at with
Oh,
it. That's
okay,
where I'm
okay.
at with it.
I'm like, where's she going with this? Okay.
But Sam, Louie, I get it. Armand, I get it. I get it. Because it's just like the physique and his aura and his confidence. Like he just not even trying to hear what Armand got to say. Armand's like, well, can I just read it? He said, go ahead. Siri, shower. And I said, And then like the Sam Reed needs to be nominated for every award that he can be nominated for because this man is showing up and showing out in this role. He called Armand a fuck cloud.
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
put that in my list of insults. Start calling people fuck clouds. What is a fuck cloud? I don't know. Lestat said it, so I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm going to start saying it.
He said, fuck cloud need to be on the other side of the moon, away from me.
Or just kill
Or
yourself.
kill yourself. Oh, God. Damn. Didn't I feel like Daniel told him to do the same thing, didn't it?
Daniel told him, he said, lose my number. I hope your dick falls off. I don't think Daniel said, kill yourself. I don't think he said that. But Armand was just getting flamed this entire episode. But I get it, because even Lestat called him out. He was just like, you use my lover to bait me and my mother to join your vampire
orgy.
And Armand was like, yeah. And plus, y'all was bummy and shit. We remember they was like bummy and like y'all was like, ugh. And so then Nikki, because my thing is, if Armand never kidnapped Nikki, never put him through that, Nikki, I don't think he would have fallen into that mental break that he did.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because you knew Lestat loved Nikki, but she was just like, nah, I want you. This is how I'm going to handle that situation. It's just like, no, you fuck cloud. Oh, yeah, I'm going to start using that. That shit going to be fire. But, and the way, like, when Armand told him, because, oh, God, I wish I would have wrote it down. But essentially, it seemed like Armand was using Louie to bait Lestat, but then Lestat, or no, that's not what it was. Because it seemed like they were doing like a back and forth between each other. Because Armand knew Lestat was still alive, and Lestat knew all of Armand's shit, but never. He was afraid that maybe one day Lestat would tell Louie. And Lestat was just like, because he said, I wish I would have wrote down that entire quote. It was a lot of shit being said while Lestat was in that shower, and I was trying to focus and write notes, but it was kind of hard because to go from the blood with the body, then the rinse, washing the blood off. It was a lot of multitasking that needed to be done, and I was just like, Sam, what is your regiment so I can share it to other fellas because
Yeah, I know
yeah.
he said he well they like I said they was having this back and forth, this dangerous back and forth game they were playing with each other, and that's where I feel like all of that stuff really stemmed or came from in between them two. So yeah, interesting, interesting dynamic for sure.
So it was, yeah. So it was a tweet. Excuse me. So the tweet was like, so Louis stayed with Armand to make Lestat miserable, and Lestat kept quiet to make Louis miserable, and Armand was aware what they were both doing to get miserably squared. Like it was just like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just y'all pettiness with love and trying to get back with one another. Well, I think Lestat loved Louis. Louis loved both, but Louis definitely loved Lestat more than Armand.
Mm-hmm.
And a piece of me feels like Armand was just a rebound.
Yeah.
Because if somebody calls you boring over and over again, not interesting.
Mm-hmm. But he was also, you remember, he was also wiping his mind too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hmm. Imagine you wiping somebody's mind, they still calling you boring.
shit,
That's crazy.
yeah. I mean, 500 years old. I mean, you would think they would be seasoned, but I guess if majority of the time you was running away from people and staying away from things, that probably is who you just naturally became. As opposed to somebody like Louis, who was out in the streets pimping, uh, and running the streets with different people, rubbing elbows, and you got Lestat, who was kind of covered in the house to himself. But then as he became a vampire, he just really stepped into himself a lot. So then he just lived out on the road. Like I said, even as he's always been a performer. So it'd be interesting if seeing if that ever comes back. Someone like, man, we seen you on like a France tour, some pictures or some artwork that look just like him. I wonder if they related because you see stuff like that even now. Like people like, man, they look like this person and they look,
Yeah, because they had Lestat's picture in Armand's theater in last season.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that is. Mm. But you said something. I was going to ask a question, and I also think it's because even though Lestat and Louis respected the vampire rules and everything, but they still had hobbies.
Yeah.
Armand didn't have that. Armand just fed, tried to get his cult, coven, and that's it. I mean, of course they had to play and everything, but I don't even them vampires ain't really rock with Armand like that either.
Nah.
I mean,
Uh.
it's just they weren't about to call you like, oh, you want to go hang out and chill. It's just like they just did that because you were their leader.
Mm-hmm. The coven leader. Yeah. So, but I guess you got to have a coven because you got to have rules. So there got to be some kind of laws to what you're doing out there. Because I mean, I get it. I do get it. Like I said, you wouldn't be able to convert everybody. Um, and you can't eat everybody neither. So I guess I was doing it like sparingly. And I guess that's what they did them nights of the shows too, where they brought in people for them to take if they needed to.
Yeah. And your fledglings don't fuck with you. That's what happens when you're a fuck cloud. Shout out to you, Armand.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess the consent part matters a lot in being turned to a vampire too, though. So
Yeah, definitely got to consent because you ain't trying to deal with that shit otherwise.
man, what if baby Jinxie Claudia or Regina?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, could put her in danger.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious of when Lestat and Louis' paths are going to cross again. Something's got to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at some point, because we got to see how we even got to where we at. So, like I said, and I wonder if it's them in there listening to the albums.
Well, Louis is seeing all of his stuff viral because he was scrolling through on his phone while he was at Regina's diner, looking at
Hmm.
like headlines and posting stuff.
That was funny. He said my levitating has went viral in the midst of the P diddler and the new Chipotle sauce.
You have to watch this with the subtitles on because I feel like you will miss so much of the dialogue he is saying.
Yeah, it'd be kind of rough sometimes.
It
But
do.
I did. I was like, they just talking about P Diddy. Got in mind a P diddler. I said these folks, they do writing this shit like yesterday. It just
Put all of that in there. Put all of the crazy 2025 stuff in there. Yeah, the audience is gonna love that.
mm.
But yeah, I mean, we talked about his concert to where he pretty much did his diss track in front of Armand, which is funny because at the beginning of the episode, one of his bandmates was like, "Oh, I got this song I want to sing," and it didn't. It sounded kind of trash, but Lestat put his little twang on there, and I feel like that turned into the Armand diss track.
Hmm.
Can you imagine being
Yeah.
at a show and they just performed a diss track right in front of you, and then they spotlight it right there? Like that's
Yeah, I'd be like this man, because he talked all about how you look, how you carry yourself, what he be doing. But he got a song about the mama coming next, so that's gonna be interesting. But she was in front of them as they were singing it.
yeah,
So
it definitely ain't no diss track. It definitely ain't no diss track for her. He need to make a diss track for her, but he not gonna do it. Lestat is well aware that he just be letting Sophia get a lot of that shit off because he over here laughing at himself and us. He's just like, you just had to be there. Like her words just did something. You know, you just had to be there. But like with this scene that's behind your background for anybody who's watching on our YouTube, when it was panning to where you see a young Lestat, then you have Louie and Claudia. What do you think this scene actually meant? And then you have Nikki. So, because I was thinking, I was like, okay, these are all his fledglings, but then you have a young Lestat there. So I was like,
I feel like this is just his like um I ain't gonna say the things that keep him grounded, but like the things that impacted him the most, like his childhood, Nick, his first love, which is his mom, who's talking to him. His love after that, of course, Louis, then of course, the situation or the relationship he had with Claudia. I feel as if all of these are just moments that impacted him at some point in his life and kind of change who or what he is. What did you think it was?
I wasn't sure, but I feel like it definitely meant something very important. Because one thing that threw me off was his younger self being there. But then
Mm-hmm.
also, I was just like, since we're seeing Nikki again, are we going to see Magnus again? Like, is Magnus going to show up again? And so I wasn't sure because looking at Claudia, it's like that is Claudia right there. It's not Regina. And so, and then it looks like a Louie from season 1 or 2. It don't look like the Louie that we're getting now in season 3. So I just wanted to definitely get your thoughts on that with that shot. But yeah, it's we halfway through. So it'll be very interesting. Who do you
Yeah.
think caught the biggest L in this episode? And why was it Armand? We know why it was Armand.
Yeah, because Armand didn't tell the truth. That's the reason. Had he been honest about the shit and not manipulative about it, because he said, hell, I think he even told us that he was overwhelmed by his personality. He just had to have him. And
He
then of course
said,
with
I
Daniel, it
know.
was like out of anger. Like I said, even when he turned Daniel, it was just like out of anger. Um, and like I said, he did it as he was for to leave, and he was like, "You fucking killed me in Newark, bitch. You ain't even give me a good place to be born at. Like, motherfucker, fuck you." He smoked that man.
Daniel was waiting to get that off. And the fact that Lestat already knew, he was just like, so how was it seeing your maker? Like he's steps ahead. I said, oof, Lestat, man.
He said, "You think I'm supposed to be like supposed to be like your daddy and 2 steps ahead everything? Nah, fuck that." Yeah, nah, toxic. Vampires are toxic, but it's the passion that they have, man. The passion that they have, just be burning desires.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. I've definitely been enjoying. this season. I just
Yeah, no, they cooking. They every each season, man. They've been cooking every season, in my personal opinion. So, um,
did you
but
see
yeah.
where when Lestat was leaving his concert, he flicked his doppelganger again when he was leaving out of the concert?
On this episode,
Yes. You
uh,
go back to when he was leaving out before he got shot. I don't know his doppelganger's name, but he was standing there and Lestat saw him and flung him, and you see him going out of going out of shot. I said, "Yo, he is not over you smashing his mama." He's probably gonna be doing that the rest of the season.
yeah, probably. Like, is there another one of him? Like, I
Yeah,
can't.
y'all gotta replace him because
Yeah, he out of here. I'm assuming that's him playing him.
yes, yes.
Cause I was like, man, I don't see nobody in here that look like him. But I ain't see no names in here. So,
Mm-mm.
mm,
We definitely got two Sam Reeds and two Delaney. Get her last name.
Haynes.
Yes, we definitely got two of them. So, and then when Lestat was having his meltdown when he was leaving all that stuff on Sophia's voicemail, I was like, God, he is just embodying this. If
Yeah.
if none of them get any nominations for this season, they're somebody's
I mean,
somebody it's
it's a network. I think it'll be a network thing. I think it'll be a network issue. Because AMC probably not as big if they were to integrate it with a
but
Prime where
I
people
mean,
actually.
when
What
you
you
have like they've had shows like Mad Men, they've had A Walking Dead, they've had successful shows that got nominated for stuff and spotlit and that people are talking about. Like at one point, AMC had some fire stuff dropping. And so it's just I'm like, all right, y'all.
But how much fire they got right now though?
I mean,
Besides this,
how much fire I guess does your network need for one of your hottest shows
it
to
gotta
get
be like it
attention?
just. I feel like you gotta also remember Walking Dead happened when cable was still a thing. Like, in my that's just that it wasn't because I look like you. I don't have cable, so I gotta watch this through a streaming site.
Me too.
So like I don't know. I just feel like it's a little different when it comes to like Walking Dead was like a moment, like they had like moments where everybody was watching. It was on the you see people watching this, but is it at the same level as you can think of a Walking Dead and shit, just
I
what Walking Dead was doing at that time?
I can see that argument for From because From is definitely difficult to watch. Cause
That's
like
way harder to watch.
right, but like AMC, no, that's not like especially when they're dropping episodes on Saturday to where you can watch it. I gotta hurry up and get on it before people try to spoil it. But like AMC, and it's been running for like 3 years, and it's been great for 3 years consistently. So yeah, man, somebody
Then what you
either
what do you think it is? I think it's the exposure. And I personally think it's the exposure. I
I
don't think
think
it
some of
has that
them just
much.
don't like to see gay vampires, but gay vampires out here doing their thing for real. And this show is
So
a lot more. It's just
the
you
love that heated rivalry got, I just don't think that's the thing. And also, what's the other show you watched? With Billy Porter, that show?
pose
Yeah,
Ryan
like
Murphy.
that. Yeah, Wire Murphy though, I guess.
I mean,
I think it's definitely politics, but I also
was
think where it is.
was heated rivalry like nominated for a lot of awards?
I'm
I
not
know,
gonna say that, but it had a lot of that thing. That show had a lot of views. But it
I
was
know
on
it.
HBO. It's on HBO too, so that's the other thing with it. It's on if this show was on a
Man,
bigger network. I'm thinking it's the network because I th wasn't Tatiana Mosley that show that you Orphan Black was in AMC
um, oh, that's a good question.
or the Killing Eve. I know that was AMC. Like I said, with them AMC shows, they like. I don't know, man. I don't see. I mean, it's a possibility. Hopefully this show comes with some type of award or something.
Orphan Black was fire. I don't remember what Orphan Black was running on though, because I saw it when it was like almost done. It looks like it was an AMC series or like BBC America. So,
She
but then
was.
it was also like it wasn't an American series. I don't
It
know if that would
what?
have anything to do with it.
Huh.
No,
I
they were
didn't know that.
overseas. And then you said the other one. What was the other one you said?
I know Killing Eve.
Oh,
That
Killing
was a
Eve.
that
Oh,
was an AMC show.
that was a good one too. Gosh, it's some good shit. But see, but those two series are women led. You know, a lot of people don't like women. So, but very great storytelling. I
But
mean,
you got like Handsmaid Tale, a Hulu show.
Daddy.
Like
I
that
mean,
one get a lot of I'm saying like a lot of
Jason, look
them.
at how that show is. Like,
I've never seen that.
it's very traumatic and it's pretty much depicting of how some individuals want society to be, to where women are just, you married, you are there to be baby bearers for men and like all of that. So it's just, I guess when you look at the messaging, I had to stop watching that show for a while because that shit was just. But see, but you had the Testament. Where is it? Is it the Testament or Testimonial? That is because old girl is in it. Nigel's girl from One Battle After Another.
Oh yeah, Chase
Right. Chase
Chase
Infinity.
Infinity. Yeah, she's in the spinoff series. Yeah.
Right. Have you started watching that?
I ain't watched the old one. No.
So I'm just, you have her in that show, but I'm just, I don't, me personally, I don't know anybody that's watching that show. Not saying
It's
nobody
doing
isn't watching it, but I don't know.
it did well enough to get a season 2.
So I mean,
And it wasn't finished when it got to season 2 neither. So but again, I think them Hulu FX show, like I think the shows that go straight to Hulu. If this show was on something, well, they have it on Netflix now, but like the season 1,
and then
maybe.
both seasons are on Netflix, and season 3 is going to be on Netflix in July.
I think I think that can help it. Like you just need to get it in front of more in front of more eyes, so people can actually can see it. Like I said, these shows being on just a certain platform, we got to pay additional money to see it is kind of bogus. But I guess whoever wants the show, they can have it however they want to. Put it on Apple. Hell, that's what it need to be.
I mean, I will honestly say this season, from the shows that I've watched, it's definitely better than the rivalry show.
Heated rivalry.
Heated rivalry. Yes, it's definitely better than that. I mean, you can even remove the vampire element and it still be better in my opinion. Not saying heated rivalry isn't good. I definitely enjoyed it. A lot of sex, but it's a pretty good show. Not because of the sex, but
It's
whatever.
because of the sex. It's okay.
It might be. It might be because of the sex. I don't know. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they get the recognition, the attention and stuff they deserve, because when you have great writing, great pacing, great acting, everything all the way around, you definitely want to see these shows get awarded.
Recognition at least.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see. But was there any other scene that you wanted to discuss from this episode?
No, I don't think so. I think that was everything that I had that I can think of. What about for you?
No, that was it for me. We was able to tackle all of the stuff that was in here. This episode definitely a little bit longer, but there was a lot to discuss. So I would say blame them, not us. But we had a good time discussing it. If this is your first time checking us out, please check out our other side quest reviews. Like Jason said, we are doing House of the Dragons season 3 for our side quest review. Also, we are going to tap into X-Men 97 season 2 that's coming out this week, so keep a lookout for that. We did Apple's Widow's Bay. We did that entire season. Enjoyed that. That's a good one. Not too much marketing, but word of mouth is getting people to see it on Apple TV, because Apple TV said, we are not spending money on marketing. We'll let y'all figure it out.
We Apple. Shit, that's what they saying. Shit, we Apple.
I get it.
See what we doing. Come see what we doing over here.
And they doing something over there.
Yeah.
And Cape Fear is currently running now. It's pretty decent. I gotta catch up on.
I think we have one more episode of maybe Max and Pleasure.
I gotta catch up on that one too. That's just
I'm sick of Paula, bro.
She got bad luck, man. She got a sage.
Bad luck? Nah, she a bad person. I'm sick of Paula. I am sick of Paula, man. That's just my thought.
Y'all, please be sure to check out our episode Supergirl that is dropping this Tuesday, which is going to be July 30th. Excuse me, June 30th, not July. I'm a month ahead. June 30th. Right. I'm like, I don't know. Tomorrow. But please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review. This is the Was It Good Though podcast, our side quest review. I am Jazz.
And I am Jason.
Until next time, cheers, y'all.
Deuces.
Did you hear that, Armand?